How is it going, folks? Welcome back to Chelsea and welcome back to the first episode I've recorded now. The full game's out. Yeah, Football Manager's beta, it's over. There's no longer the watermark in the bottom corner, but one man who is still here is Erling Haaland. How many goals do you reckon he's got so far this year? If you answered 16 in 9, you'd be correct. Now, you may have spotted by the date in the top corner, I've played a fair bit of Football Manager since you were last here, but today we are taking on Liverpool and PSG in the Champions League. The transfer window, though, has come and gone to get a bit of business done. And in terms of that business, Tammy Abraham has left to go to Man City. He's played one game for them as a starter so far. Got 2 assists, to be fair to him. Probably not £44 million worth of performances. The only other big headline sale I've made is this man. Joe Gomez has left to go to Real Madrid. We were talking about maybe bringing in another centre-back. I had my eye on a player, you might remember. So when on deadline day, Real Madrid bid £64 million for a 28-year-old, I did decide to take that money and go and sign myself a new centre-back. And that centre-back we've picked up is Josko Gvardiol. I mean, Gvardiol, very, very good footballer is Gvardiol. Yeah, he can play left-back as well, which is a nice little Brucey bonus. £90 million I paid for him. 6 appearances. 6.7 rating. Yes, defensively, things haven't been great since you were last here. In spite of the fact that we're currently second in the league, we are conceding more than a goal a game in the Premier League. Good news, though, we are averaging 3.7 goals scored a game, so the goals are there. Erling Haaland, top of the top goal scorers. Average rating-wise, we are dominating the top 3 at the very least. I realise I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to run through the games in a moment, but not before we run that intro. Yes, folks, we are back here at Chelsea today. I believe it's episode number 20 as well. If you are still enjoying this series, thank you very much for coming back and watching it. I appreciate the full game's out. Lots of new FM series starting on the YouTubes, at least until Park to Prem's database is ready. We're still here to the end of the season. Liverpool at home today, followed by PSG away in the Champions League. And you know what? We'll start by having a quick look at the Champions League, where currently we sit 4th in the group of, well, 36 teams. We're in a really, really good position. By comparison, our opposition in PSG have 4 points in 4 games. They are struggling right now. They desperately need to win this game that we take them on in today. The one game that we didn't win in this run of Champions League games was this one against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, difficult opposition, I think it's safe to say. We took the lead in this game. Osimhen then scored from the penalty spot to make it 1-1. They then got their noses ahead not long later into the second half. Joe Gomez involved in the build-up play out from the back. Osimhen in behind. Perry couldn't stop it. We did respond immediately, and in spite of the fact that we did have our backs up against the wall, we did manage to get a draw in this game. It wasn't the most inspired of performances. I was playing the 4-4-2 in this game with the 2 strikers. I have started now against bigger and better opposition to revert back to our centre attacking mid-system. Just as a reminder on that, this is the system that we used a lot last year, and it served us well, particularly in big games, but this year I have been deploying this system a fair bit when we need goals, and it has worked for us. And I suppose that is evident by the run of games here. We have played, I think, 15 matches since you were last here. Of course, we beat Leeds United 4-0. We followed that up with a 7-0 win against West Brom and then a 5-1 win against Ipswich Town. Erling Haaland had 9 goals in his first 3 Premier League games. Sadly, that goal-scoring run did come to a screeching halt. We lost 2-1 against West Ham. In this game, I mean, the goal that we conceded was awful. I mean, is that Gvardiol? Was it Gvardiol? It was Gvardiol. I forgot that Gvardiol's effort to defend that was so awful. Yeah, West Ham took the lead in this game. We then scored through Jude Bellingham with less than 10 minutes left. And I thought at that point, well, a draw away from home against West Ham could be worse. It was worse. They scored literally with one of the last kicks of the game. Caught us on the counter-attack defensively, a little all over the place. And then Fornals, well, he put the Fornal nail in the coffin, made it 2-1. Yeah, I mean, looking at the stats, it was an even game. We were unlucky to lose, but still disappointing. And in fact, that Real Madrid game followed on from the West Ham game. So 2 games without a win. Knew that the Wolves game was going to be tough. We ended up winning this one 4-0, and we followed it up with some more high-scoring games. A 4-1 win against Brighton, 2-1 against Brentford, slightly less high-scoring, and then Lazio to end the month of September. The month of October opened with this game against Tottenham Hotspur, an emphatic result, 2-0 at half-time. They did peg us back, but we managed to get back ahead by 2 immediately. Alex Scott rounded off the goal scoring. A goal in the 98th minute for this guy. So far, I actually feel like he's played quite well. He's got 4 goals in 12 games, which from centre mid, that's fine with me. 6 more games following on from that Tottenham result. 5 wins across all competitions. The one defeat, though, an embarrassment. A 3-0 defeat against Man City. When you see the goals we conceded, you can understand why I felt unlucky. I was gloating, wasn't I, about the fact I'd stolen Erling Haaland from them. Turns out they don't need Erling Haaland to score goals. The Rodri goal, to be fair, nice finish. These next two goals were frustrating. The first was a penalty, which I suppose you can live with. It was Varela with the goal. He would grab a second in this game through unusual circumstances, yet the shots deflected off the wall, keeper parried it straight to Varela. He found the back of the net. Edison got man of the match. Yeah, it was one of those kind of games. Besides that, though, some really good results in here. Wins against Fulham, wins against Young Boys, Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup, which, of course, we're looking to retain. And this month, thus far, 6-2 win against Everton was great. 1-0 against Salzburg, not all that convincing, although we did play a rotated 11. The one bad bit of news here is Perry got injured, and Perry is now out for the next 4 to 6 weeks, which means either Dean Henderson or Bazunu is back in goal. Yeah, I really do have to pick my poison today. In terms of the poison I've chosen to go with, I think I'm going to go with Dean Henderson. I did actually have Bazunu in the start 11. I'm changing my mind here on the eve of the game. I say the eve of the game. I literally need to submit my team now. So our opposition for this first game is Liverpool. They are currently 3rd place. You might have noticed 10 games played in the league, top 4 teams separated by a measly 3 points. These kind of games that we have right now are the ones that could crucially matter come the end of the year. We need a good result, especially at home. Elsewhere, Man City play Arsenal today. Arsenal have not had a great start to the year. They could really do with doing us a favour. So in terms of team news, I mentioned Perry's injury. Mason Mount and Paez are also out. Arda Güler and Kunku and Ferguson have all done fitness tests. You might have spotted here, Arda Güler failed his fitness test and Kunku failed his fitness test. I kind of want to have attacking options on the bench in case of an emergency. You know what? We'll leave Nkunku as an option, but with the injuries we've had in the attacking midfield area and with Ferguson also missing a spell of football, has been a tricky period for us. When it comes to the starting 11, of course, with Joe Gomez leaving the club, it's kind of simple. Gvardiol, left-footed, comes in and plays left centre-back alongside Upamecano. Chilwell and James are playing at left-back and right-back. You might have noticed Reece James is back playing as a wing-back on attack. Last year we played him as an inverted wing-back a lot and he produced a lot. He has produced as much in this position here, which I think is more a testament to him as a player rather than the role inverted wing-back being maybe slightly too good in the match engine. In the attacking mid department, it is a bit makeshift. Ansu Fati and Rooney start on the left and right. Yamal is going to play through the middle. This guy, not natural at centre attacking mid, but very much accomplished. You can see here, he ticks a lot of the boxes. And so far, the 18-year-old, upon his arrival, he has developed really, really well. Some solid development across the board. Played well in the first team, been in some good form. I trust him in this kind of game. Okay, lunchtime kickoff, big game towards the top of the table. Last time we took on one of our big immediate rivals, we got battered 3-0 by Man City. I need a better showing today. Liverpool's team is on show here. There is no Van Dijk, there is no Salah. They are very much in transition 3 years into the save game. I'm kind of surprised they're as high as they are in the league right now. We got to take the game to them. Haaland has missed the last couple of games through injury. I don't want to throw him under the bus. He's got 1 goal in his last 4. It's not a goal-scoring drought, and I'm not panicking, but if he wants to turn up in this kind of game, that would be very much appreciated. Casado with the ball for us, Yamal, the big man on campus, thrown in at the deep end, the youngster, forward to James. He's going to get to the byline. Haaland's in the middle. The number 5 shirt is iconic. Reece James can find it. It's 1-0. Having talked about Reece James playing right wing-back this episode and this season, and talking about Haaland's lack of goals, I feel like I've just manifested that. It's nice build-up play, low cross, near post, Haaland tucks it away. 30 minutes played, Ward-Prowse over a free kick. This man scares me. That's why they very nearly tested Dean Henderson for what would have been the first time this game, but the woodwork comes to the rescue. Half-time in this game here, 1-0. Hardly a classic. Liverpool with just a one shot, that free kick that hit the crossbar and went over. As for ourselves, we've created a little bit. Not enough in the way of highlights. Going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I do feel like we have the potential to step up in the second half. I mean, ultimately, as much as I want to see goals flowing and us just playing amazing football, the reality is that in this kind of game against Liverpool, a win is a win. I just want the 3 points. I just want to see the job out, and this second half is continuing very much like the first. 15 minutes played here. I'm going to make some changes. Fati off for Victor Roque. Elsewhere, Alex Scott in for Yamal in the centre attacking mid department. Chilwell has not had a great game at left back either. Colwill, on you come. Liverpool have still not had a shot on target, or a shot besides that one free kick. There's 20 minutes left here. I do feel like I need to get that other goal and make it 2-0 just so I can calm my nerves a little bit. Jude Bellingham's injured. Jude Bellingham, that is not bueno. Okay, Tielemans in, deep line playmaker. Caicedo moves across. I better save my last sub now in case of another injury. Let's hope that potential foot injury is nothing serious. The only silver lining we have got is there is an international break, I believe, following on from this game. So if it's a minor injury for Bellingham, he will be okay for the game against PSG, which I would very much like to win. The sooner we can wrap up our Champions League fate, hopefully as one of those top 8 teams that kind of get a bye through to the quarterfinals, the better. In getting that bye, I can rotate the team a little bit more, manage minutes in a way that I've not really been able to do so far this year, although of course we are still competing in every competition. Suppose with that in mind, there's a worry that perhaps with tired legs, we are going to be fatigued in this kind of game. You know, as the game goes on, maybe it opens up the door for Liverpool, although they're playing a similar number of games. Still want that second goal. Colwill is bringing it down the line. He's going to float it towards the back post. Caicedo can't get there. Reece James, though, picks up the pieces. What can he do? He brings it inside. He pulls it across. Rooney shoots. It's blocked. It falls to Haaland. VAR's going to check this. If it counts, I think it's as good as game over. Is he about to grab his second of the game? Referee's got his finger to his ear. We're waiting for the VAR call. The goal is going to stand. It's 2-0, and I think it's deserved on the balance of play. Liverpool have really not created anything. This has been one of the most commanding, controlling performances we've had. Really impressed with us from a defensive point of view in this game. Although, maybe the fact we're doing better defensively in this match is an argument for me playing this system more, rather than the 4-4-2 where we go all-out attack gung-ho. Against lesser teams, I think it works. In this kind of game, I feel like it's a bad idea. I want a third goal, by the way, Football Manager. Okay, never mind. I'm not getting my order. Caicedo's effort was atrocious. Although, maybe I'm going to get it here. Rooney, left foot, it's a wand. Alisson Becker denying our Haaland his hat-trick. The number 5 looks hungry for it. With 2 minutes left, that might be his last opportunity to score in this game. As now Liverpool are trying to play the ball out from the back. Luis Diaz plays it inside to Nathan. I have no idea who Nathan is, the number 22, but he's laid it back to Konate. Alisson Becker with the ball. Liverpool, I mean, you'd think they'd want to get the ball forward with some urgency here. They've not shown that yet, although maybe with Elise, there is going to be a bit more of an attacking spark. Colwill wins a massive header. Victor Roque on the far side. We want 3. We need 3. Caicedo wide. Rooney, so much space. Opens up his right foot on his weaker foot. You wouldn't know it was his weaker foot. He smashes it into the top bins. That is game, set, and match. Caicedo with the ball across. Rooney gets out of his feet, pulls the trigger, and Alisson Becker can't stop it. With that goal, he picks up man of the match, and that concludes about as dominant a game as you're going to see. Yeah, that was sensational. Very happy with the way you played. Now, I'm looking at Arsenal thinking, can you do us a favour? Arsenal, can you help me out? Jude Bellingham out for 3 to 4 weeks. Not ideal, could be worse. Our next game is Bournemouth in 2 weeks' time. Now, I just want to hit continue and think about this Arsenal result. Can Arsenal do me a favour? I'd love Man City to drop some points. I'd love Manchester United to drop some points. Arsenal can't win. Manchester United, though, 0-0 against Brentford. That's a little bit of a favour for us. And now that does see ourselves and Man City a little more isolated towards the top. Anyway, we are going to shift gears now and get ready for a game against PSG. Massive, massive game. They desperately need a win in this Champions League match. Kylian Mbappe, we've got to be fearful of. I've got to try and shut him down. It's Haaland v Mbappe. Who's going to win? We'll find out in a mo. If you were wondering how the finances looking, Jack, with all the transfers that have gone on, we were actually in the positives to start the year. Now we've started actually having to pay wages. We are in the red by £10 million. I think there's another reason we're in the red. Haaland. Goals. Yeah, he's netted 26 goals so far. Our record in a season is 28 with Giroud. We're in November. And he has also just received a bonus of almost £1 million for hitting 20 league goals, again, in November. And that is because, off camera, between games, we have just beaten Bournemouth. Away from home, a game that we should be winning. I did fully rotate the team, minus some of the attacking areas. Maybe I should have rotated it. Haaland grabbed a brace. What did it cost us? His fitness for today's game. Yeah, Haaland v Mbappe, not happening here. He's not fit enough to take on PSG. And if you were wondering, I am also paying him £105,000 for every goal he scores, so maybe it's a good thing he's injured. Now, I realise Champions League, I can have more players on the bench. You might have noticed an issue with the players I've just put on the bench. Lots of them injured. Yeah, we have a bit of an injury crisis at the moment. And Kunku's picked up another injury. He's out for up to 2 weeks. Bellingham, did he pass his fitness test? No, he shouldn't even be in the starting 11. I think we'll play Alex Scott alongside Casado. Worth noting, Mount coming back from injury did do a fitness test. He passed it for 60 minutes. But to be frank, our squad has seen better days. We're without Haaland. Victor Roque makes a start out on the left-hand side of all the injuries in the final third. Some good news. This guy's getting a 10.0 rating in training. He's improving a ton, and he did just score his first goal during the international break for Brazil. So if he could have a game to remember out on the left, that would be Fam Dabi Dozy. Perry is still injured for Issa Henderson's between the sticks. Our back four is at full strength. That might be for the best. They've got Mbappe. He scares me. A win here would just about cement our spot in the knockout stages of the Champions League. I do feel like with this expanded 8 kind of match group stage, each match takes on slightly less significance. So with that in mind, I've not come back for as many of the Champions League games this year. I feel like, as I said, from the beginning of this year, I'm building this team to win a Champions League this season. If we can beat PSG, it would be a nice statement win. I say that knowing that PSG have actually struggled a little bit this year. They have been far from being at their best, but I think it's safe to say with the various injuries and stuff we've got going on, we're not exactly at our best either. We do still have a transfer budget of, I think, over £100 million. Whether or not that'll be scaled back due to our squad balance, I hope not, because I might want to buy some depth in January. PSG strike first here. Zem Emery with the build-up play, laid it to Gert Rüder, and he played it inside to Asensio, the one of those 3 players' names who I think I've said correctly there. He scored the Spaniard. I thought our issue might be scoring today against PSG with the various injuries. I didn't think defensively we'd be so susceptible, but we find ourselves a goal down early on. We need to find a response. Maybe it can come here. As well, Rooney aims for that top corner he found twice against Liverpool, sadly on this occasion over the bar. We do have a corner. It's Reece James to put it in. He's going to loop it towards the near post. Gvardiol was there. It's half cleared away, but not right away from danger. Ansu Fati, edge of the box. Donnarumma. His positioning was awful. I'm not going to complain. We draw back level. The penalty box was very congested here when the initial header was headed out. In fact, I think there was like 6 PSG players under the ball. It looked somewhat comical from Football Manager. Ansu Fati was afforded time and space to pull the trigger. Half the goal to aim for. He is going to hit that kind of target. Just over 5 minutes left of the half. 1 shot on target for either team. It's not been a goalkeeping masterclass so far here. At the break, would I be happy with this? Not exactly. We've had 37% of the ball. I'm not happy with it, but then when I look at their average position, I realise they are so deep with possession, PSG. They've not done a lot going forward, he says, as they take a corner. Gvardiol nods it away. Rooney, what can we make happen here, maybe on the counter-attack? The Swede is finding some space, and he's going to try and pick out Alex Scott with a looping pass. Mendes heads it back to Donnarumma. Composed defending there by PSG. They've made a habit of playing it out from the back in this game, having a lot of the ball deep. They've not got it forward. So for all the possession they're having, I'm not going to panic too much just yet. I feel like as the home team, it's going to be a bit more pressure on them to commit men forward. That might open up the opportunity for us to catch them on the break. Maybe we can make something happen here as well. Chilwell to Victor Roque, the number 41. Plays it forward. Ansu Fati, option in the middle. It's Evan Ferguson. I'm pretty sure he stayed onside there. VAR is going to have a check. Ferguson's had a few issues of injuries this year. Not really been able to get going. Is he going to get going today? You bet your bottom dollar he is. He finds the back of the net, and it is going to count. Victor Roque, lovely weighted pass here to Ansu Fati. That is not an easy ball. The finish, by comparison, very, very simple. But Ferguson finds the bottom corner. Donnarumma, no chance. Casado's on a booking. I'm going to take him off and I think just play things safe here. We'll bring in Tielemans. Elsewhere, Roque's not had a great game out on the left-hand side. Arda Güler on Ucum. Rooney off Ucum as well. Going to bring in Yamal and Arda. I will play Yamal, I think, here as a winger on support on his left foot. Arda Güler, by comparison, he can't play on the left, so he'll go on the right for us. Half an hour left, going to shout some words of encouragement, try and fire up our players. If we could get that second goal, well, third goal to give us the 2-goal lead, that would be delightful. We've come back from behind here. Of course, we did that a lot at the Club World Cup. Almost an air of history repeating itself. We are a team that know how to come back. We don't know when we're beaten. Now we just have to hold on to this lead that we've worked hard to earn. Marquinhos with the ball, laying it forward. PSG, intricate passing. Mbappe, number 11. Acres of space now playing out on the left-hand side to cut in on his right foot. Skips past our man and does Kylian Mbappe things. It's 2-2. Turns out if you give Mbappe 10 yards of space, even in a wide area, he's going to punish you for it. He skips past Reece James there like he's not even there. Henderson is made to sit on his bum. There's still 27 minutes left here. I feel like there's more goals in this. Free kick, Arda Güler. He is a bit of a set-piece demon. It's a great ball in. Oh, my word. I mean, I think the keeper saved that. I don't think it hit the woodwork. Ferguson was offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. Coming up to 10 minutes left of this game, I'm going to tell our players to go on attacking. You know what? And this might be stupid. I'm going to switch to the 4-2-4 for the end of this game. We've made 3 changes. We can make some more here. Quite who I'd bring on is a slightly different proposition because I don't really have a striker to bring on with all our injuries, sadly. We'll bring in some fresh legs in the wide area. Chilwell's not played great. Alex Scott, off you come. Mason Mount was told he could play 60 minutes. He's going to come on for the last 10. Can't accuse me of being boring. I want to score goals. I'm going to our system that usually results in us either scoring goals or conceding goals. There's very rarely in between. Until apparently today. There's 5 minutes of added time. They've come and gone. An anticlimactic end to this game. It finishes 2-2, which I suppose if this was the knockout stage of the Champions League, given the injuries we've got, I would actually be quite happy. I didn't even spot this during the game. Donnarumma, head injury. They had to bring in Dumontier, who is, I think he's a grayed out goalkeeper without an actual profile. Is he a grayed out goalkeeper without a profile? He is, because Eduard Mendy is on international duty. We've not scored against a guy who literally has no attributes. I'm fuming. That does take the shine off this result slightly, but let's ignore the wider context. We are still unbeaten through 5 games in the Champions League. Having taken on Real Madrid and PSG, I think our remaining games are a bit simpler too. And in fact, looking forward to those games, we've got Atleti in the Champions League, and then we've also got Betis and Dynamo at the end of January. Bit annoying that we could only draw against PSG. I feel like with Erling Haaland and Bellingham, maybe it's a slightly different result. In January, if the money's there, I think we might look to spend it. Who we're going to spend it on though? Maybe you'll find out next time. If you have enjoyed today's episode, as always, you know what I'm going to say. Leave a like on the video. Feed the algorithm. We're back same time and place tomorrow. Until then, take things easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.